Hello my loves, I hope that you're all doing well. I am joining you on a brand new camera, which I'm so pleased about. I literally got it today. I literally got it like 30 minutes ago because it's my birthday today. And yeah, I wanted to ask for a camera so I can provide better content for you all and more frequent. I know that I've slacked on YouTube. However, it is requested quite often for, longer form content, and I can understand and see why that would be more helpful. And it's also something that I just kind of want to experiment with. Let me show you what you look like. Can you see? I don't know. I'm still getting used to this camera. I am a little bit nervous. I'm worried that I'm going to film all this and then it turned out that it wasn't filming at all. That is definitely something that I would do. I'm also conscious of this microphone dying because it is flashing red, which suggests that's not really a good sign. Anyways, since I'm coming back, I thought we could do a little Q&A just to get back into it for any of those who are new as well, and just a little catch up, I guess. It's going to be a mix of personal life questions and a few ED recovery based questions for those of you who are new. I am 3.5 years into recovery from an eating disorder, and I share my journey online with the hopes to help other people. But anyways, let's get on with it. First question is, what would I like to do for work? Ultimately, long term, as a full-time job in the future, I would like to go into mental health, possibly peer support work, because for those of you who don't know, I do EP work, which is essentially using my own experiences to improve the system in the area where I live, which is the south of England. So it's basically similar to that, but different at the same time. It's essentially peer support, being someone who's been through it, supporting people who are going through it in a way. It's kind of a random one, but I've actually just started a little side hustle, which I feel like is going to surprise a few of you, because I've started a little gardening business, which I feel like is pretty kind of random. But for those of you who don't know, I went to a gardening college when I was quite unwell. That was an interesting period of my life. I did drop out. I didn't particularly love it, but there was a phase in my life where I relied a lot on being outdoors and nature to help me. So that's why I went to college to do it, but it just wasn't the same. Anyways, so that's not something I want to do long term, but just for a bit of extra money. I haven't actually properly started it yet, but I do also want to continue doing social media because I think it's the best way to reach people. You can reach a lot more people doing that than being a peer support worker. So yeah, I want to grow my social media. Which is proving to be kind of tricky, I'm not gonna lie. But we'll link these on because the next question is, what do I do for work? So I work in a pub a few days a week, which, it's a job, it's money. As I said, I do EBE work, which essentially, so I have been running groups at the old day unit that I went to, which is very surreal for me. I absolutely love it though. There's other projects that we do as well, we started a podcast. There's been quite a few different things. I have done a separate video. I think I have. I'm sure I have. Yeah, no, I spoke about it in my last video, I think. So if you want to know more about it, because yeah, literally anyone with lived experience of mental health can do it. You don't need any qualifications. The next question is, do I have any travel plans coming up? I wish. I really, really wish. Everyone keeps asking me this because I always have a trip planned, but I actually don't, which is so depressing. I am hoping to go back to an island in Greece that I went to, well, Crete, but a specific place in Crete that I went to. Oh, someone's just started sawing or mowing their lawn. I really hope you can't hear that. I feel like you can. Anyways, let's just carry on. So yeah, I'd love to go back to there in September time with my mum and my boyfriend, but that's not definitely happening. I just want some sun and some sea. I need it actually. The next question is, any tips for feeling lost / behind in life? I have felt like this for the past few years, purely because I missed out on a big chunk of my teenage years because of my eating disorder. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that word on YouTube. Hopefully I am. I might leave it out just in case. But yeah, I've had a sense of that for a long time, and people be going out clubbing or going to uni, even though that's not something that I'm interested in doing, going to uni. Living their lives, meeting with friends, and I couldn't do any of those things. Even if I wanted to, I wouldn't have the capacity to. So that did make me feel really left out and behind. But I think it's important to remember that there's no timeline on life. Like, obviously there is, but like in terms of when you should be doing what, there isn't, because everyone is different and that's okay. Some people achieve things quicker, some people do more things and have more dreams, and you know, good for them. But if you struggle with mental health, those things can get pushed to the side. And if you just have to focus on keeping yourself well, that matters more than achieving the goals that everyone else is achieving. The next question is, what are my favourite clothes shops? This is a great question and very relevant because I went shopping yesterday and bought this. I did a little haul on my TikTok. My favourite shops are Bershka and Pull&Bear. They're my two favourite shops. Actually, no. Bershka, Pull&Bear and Hollister. I absolutely love Hollister, but it is pretty expensive. And I do get the majority of my clothes from there. The next question is where my favourite travel destinations are. If you know me, you know what I'm going to say. Greece. Greece every time. My boyfriend gets annoyed because he's like, you know, you need to branch out and go to different places. And I'm like, yeah, I will, but just let me enjoy my Greece trip. It sounds really cheesy, and I know it doesn't make much sense, but it feels like home to me. Like, I remember going on my first holiday with my mum abroad since lockdown because of my anxiety and my ED. And as soon as we like landed in Greece, I was like, oh, that's better. This is the place to be. Yeah, I've just always loved it. My mum loves it as well, and my late grandparents, they have always loved it as well. So it's kind of in our genes. I just love the food, I love the culture, I love the sea, I love the buildings, I love everything about it. And the people are so lovely as well. And I love that there's so many different islands to choose from. Okay, the next question is quite a big one, and it is, how did I deal with gaining weight? And the best thing that I can say is to not focus too much on the weight, because I feel like there is so much focus on weight. And actually we forget about what else we gain, which is ultimately why we're doing it. Like, you gain life, you gain happiness, you gain freedom, you gain warmth, eating foods that you want to eat, you gain travelling, you gain friendships, you gain family, you gain whatever else. So many things, health-wise and also quality of life-wise, and also, you know, just things that perhaps you want in life. All of those things you cannot have in a super underweight and unhealthy body. It's just not feasible. And you know, I think some people think that they're the exception. You know, they can live a full life on, you know, an empty stomach, or, you know, that's such a cheesy saying, but it is true. But you aren't the exception. I mean it, like, okay, like, stop. You aren't. That's not how it works. You're not going to believe me when I tell you this. So just prepare, okay? You're not going to believe me, but I feel so much more confident now than I ever did when I was at my lowest weight. I know, it sounds crazy. I know it doesn't make sense. I know you're not going to believe me. I know you're going to be like, oh, it's not going to be the same for me. Maybe not initially, no. It might take time. So, you know, if you're even just a year into recovery and still not feeling more confident, be like, oh, Eloise, she lied to me. I didn't. Give it time. Give it time. It takes time. But you will get there. Because I felt so rubbish in myself. And don't get me wrong, I still do sometimes now. But I have so much more confidence. I found my style. Not trying to say that I have loads of stuff, but you know what I mean. And I just feel so much more happy within myself, outwardly but also inwardly, than when I was super underweight. Like, I hated my body then. It was never enough. I was never low enough. But now that isn't the priority, and oh my god, the like mental load that takes off of your brain is insane. But yeah, the main thing I'll say is to focus on the other things that you gain. It's not weight gain, it's life gain, okay? And the more that you go along with the weight gain process, the easier it will get. I suppose, like, exposure therapy in a way, like, sure, it's difficult to like see your body changing, but the more that you sit with that uncomfortableness, the easier it will become. Oh, and also lastly, remember that whatever you're seeing in the mirror is not real. Like, when you're going through that process, your brain is going to play tricks on you to make you look a lot more different and, to put it bluntly, bigger than you actually are. Because you're not. Body dysmorphia is a very real thing. The next question is, how do I navigate a relationship when you're struggling with mental health issues? So when I met my boyfriend, I was in recovery. I wouldn't say I was fully recovered, but I'd say I was pretty close. But I'd been in recovery for about 2 years-ish, maybe slightly under. I was in a fairly decent point with my mental health. However, a very big thing within our family happened about a week into us dating, and I'm not going to be talking about what it is or what happened because out of respect for my family. However, that completely yeah, it was a very, very difficult time, and I'm very grateful that he stuck with me through that time, because it's a lot to deal with when you've already been in a relationship for 1 week. At the moment, I'm doing pretty well. I'm not gonna lie, my anxiety hasn't been amazing, but like apart from that, I'm doing okay. But he's just always been very understanding. He's not someone that will turn a blind eye to mental health. Like he gets it. I personally find that it kind of makes it easier being with someone who has dealt with mental health struggles. Maybe not to like a really extreme extent, but you know, someone who understands your point of view and where you're coming from. I like, for me, that's been beneficial because they don't look at you like a crazy person. If it is the right person, then they won't make you feel that way. However, I will say that if I was still struggling with an eating disorder and in a relationship, I think that would be quite difficult. The next question is, when is my birthday? Today, the 3rd of May. I don't know when this video will be out, but yeah, the 3rd of May. And I'm 20. What do you mean? What do you mean I'm 20? I feel like because I've missed out on my teenage years, I haven't been a teenager for long enough. So I'm just going to carry on pretending that I'm a teenager. The next question is, where do you see yourself in 10 years' time? Honestly, I would love to have some kids in 10 years' time. That's really scary to think about, but I don't want to have kids really young, but I don't want to have them too late either. I'd like to have my first child by the latest of 28. This is a really deep chat. We're like delving in here. Obviously, if I'm lucky enough to be able to have kids, you know, I'd like to be settled down. I would have liked to have done a lot of travelling, and I mean, hopefully have a house of my own. But in this economy, you know, and I also just hope that I'm able to fix any little things going on up here. At the moment, I'm really trying to work on my emetophobia because I'm finding it quite bad at the moment, and I'm finding it quite limiting. And I don't want to carry on like that because it did get better, and I don't want to go down that route again. So I hope to have overcome that by then. So I suppose that kind of leads into the next one, which is, the next question is, what is my favourite music genre? I'm not gonna lie, I love a bit of everything. Like, my playlist is a full, like, just mix of literally everything. I love like old 80s and 90s music. Oh, sorry for the people that don't like clicking. Yeah, I wouldn't say I like one genre of music, I just like a lot of different artists / bands. Okay, we're going to finish on one which I actually think is very important, and I think it's a good one to talk about, which is social media a good place for ED / mental health recovery, and can it be dangerous? Now, this might seem contradictory since I do a lot of social media within these topics. That's literally what I do. But yes, 1000%, it can be dangerous, and I think it's definitely not a good thing unless it's done in the right way, which is what I hope I do. Otherwise, I'm not going to do it. My whole account, and the reason that I do what I do, is to create a more positive space in a whole sea of very negative spaces online. For me, before my ED fully developed, social media contributed a lot to it, I believe. You know, seeing what I eat in a days that were like barely anything, comparing myself to other people's bodies, it's so toxic, and it really fueled my ED personally, I believe. However, it definitely can be used in positive ways. Like, I also had a lot of creators that helped me a lot. Like, I used to watch Roy Mitchell so much, and you know, I used to find them really helpful. I remember, like, in my journal, I'd say like, oh, I just want to be like Roy. Like, why can't I recover? So you know, I hope that I am that for other people. That is why I do what I do. Recently, it's gotten worse. Obviously, you know, we've all seen celebrities getting pretty underweight. I just think it's very damaging to young girls. And like, even now, like, come on, we all do it. We all compare our bodies online. Like, even I do it, but I just don't let it affect me to the point where it ruins my day or makes me act differently. Just accept that this is my body. Like, whatever. It's just a vessel to get me through life. Honestly, I would just say, if there's accounts that don't help you or you find damaging, just unfollow them. But yeah, I mean, it definitely can be harmful for sure, which is why I really hope this is a safe space for you guys. Anyways, I hope that you've enjoyed this video. I can't wait to film some more videos for you. Please give me some video ideas, suggestions, what do you want to see, and yeah, take care of yourselves, and thanks for having a little catch up with me. Please like and subscribe. I hate saying that. Anyways, I love you all.